let's get right into it. Number 8, plucking your nose hairs. You're getting ready for a big day, you look in the mirror, and you see it. A single, defiant hair peeking out of your nostril, waving at the world like a tiny, gross flag. Your first instinct is to grab the tweezers and yank that sucker out. It's a moment of satisfying, eye-watering victory. Except, you might have just invited a brain-eating infection to a party where your brain is the main course. Okay, maybe not brain-eating, but it's shockingly close. Your nose is part of a special little area on your face called the Triangle of Death. It's not a cool heavy metal band. It's the triangle from the corners of your mouth to the bridge of your nose. The veins in this area have a direct VIP pass to your cavernous sinus, which is basically the bouncer for your brain. When you pluck a nose hair, you create a tiny open wound. And your nose, let's be honest, is not the most sterile environment. It's a warm, moist cave full of germs you've inhaled all day. So now, bacteria like Staphylococcus can just stroll right into that open follicle, bypass your body's normal security, and travel up those special veins straight to your brain's doorstep. This can lead to things like a cavernous sinus thrombosis, a nasty blood clot in your brain that can cause vision loss, permanent nerve damage, or even death. All because you couldn't tolerate one little hair. Basically, by plucking, you're rolling out the red carpet for a potentially fatal infection. Just trim it. Your brain will thank you. Number 7, holding in a sneeze. It happens. You're in a dead silent library, a serious meeting, or right next to a sleeping baby, and you feel that familiar tingle. A massive sneeze is brewing, ready to erupt like a volcano. Being a considerate human, you pinch your nose, clamp your mouth shut, and perform the internal explosion containment maneuver. You feel a weird pressure in your head, your eyes might water, but you've saved the day. You're a hero who might have just fractured their own throat. A sneeze is your body's ridiculously powerful way of ejecting irritants. Air can exit your nostrils at up to 100 miles per hour. When you block that exit, all that force has to go somewhere. It's not just going to politely disappear. That pressurized air gets violently rerouted back into your body. This can cause a whole menu of self-inflicted injuries. You could rupture an eardrum, pop a blood vessel in your eye or brain, damage your diaphragm, or, and this is a real thing that has happened, tear a hole in the back of your throat. One man in the UK was left barely able to speak or swallow, with doctors finding a literal rip in his pharynx. He had to be hospitalized and fed through a tube. Your body is trying to fire a cannon out of your face, and you decided to put a cork in it. It's like trying to stop a freight train by standing in front of it and saying no. Just let it out. Who cares if it's loud? It's better than explaining to an ER doctor that you tried to muffle a biological explosion. Number 6, sleeping on your stomach. There's something uniquely comforting about flopping onto your bed face first and sprawling out like a starfish. It feels cozy, secure, and primal. Unfortunately, your spine sees it as a form of medieval torture. If your spine could talk, it would be screaming at you all night long. Sleeping on your stomach is one of the worst positions for your body, turning 8 hours of rest into 8 hours of slow structural damage. First, your neck. Unless you figured out how to breathe through your pillow, you have to turn your head to one side. This forces your neck into a constant twisted state, leading to strain, stiffness, and pinched nerves. You wake up wondering why you feel like you just went 10 rounds with a chiropractor, and it's because you spent the night trying to imitate an owl. Then there's your back. Sleeping on your stomach flattens the natural curve of your spine and can put immense pressure on your lower back and pelvis. This misalignment strains your muscles and ligaments, which are supposed to be relaxing and recovering. Over time, this can lead to chronic lower back pain, herniated discs, and sciatica. You're essentially paying for a few hours of cozy comfort with years of potential agony. It's the physiological equivalent of taking out a high-interest loan on your skeletal system. Number 5, cracking your neck. Ah, the neck crack. It's the ultimate physical punctuation mark. After hours of staring at a screen, that stiff, tight feeling builds up until you give your head a quick, forceful twist. You're rewarded with a chorus of satisfying pops and snaps, and for a glorious second, you feel loose and realigned. You feel like you just gave yourself a free chiropractic adjustment. What you might have actually done is bought a lottery ticket for a massive stroke. It sounds like a ridiculous exaggeration, but the risk is very real. Running up through your neck vertebrae are crucial blood vessels called the vertebral arteries. They are responsible for supplying blood to the back of your brain. When you perform that sharp, twisting motion, you can accidentally tear the delicate inner lining of one of those arteries. This is called a vertebral artery dissection. Once the artery is torn, the body's emergency response kicks in and forms a blood clot to patch up the damage. That's great, except now you have a blood clot and a superhighway to your brain. If a piece of that clot breaks off, it can travel straight into the brain, block blood flow, and cause a stroke. People as young as their 20s and 30s have ended up paralyzed or worse after a particularly aggressive neck crack. So that moment of relief could be the prelude to a life-altering medical emergency. It's a pretty high price to pay for a sound effect. Number 4, cleaning your ears with cotton swabs. It's one of the most universally beloved yet forbidden hygiene rituals. That feeling of digging into your ear canal with a cotton swab after a shower is almost too good to describe. You feel like you're excavating ancient treasures, performing essential maintenance on your own head. The problem is, you're not cleaning anything. You're just making things worse, using the absolute worst tool for the job. It's like trying to clean a hallway with a snowplow. Your ear canal is a self-cleaning marvel. It produces earwax, or cerumen, for a reason. As you chew and talk, your jaw movements slowly migrate the old wax to the outer ear, where it dries up and falls out. When you jam a cotton swab in there, you interrupt this beautiful process. You push the bulk of the old wax deeper into the canal, packing it down against your eardrum. Keep this habit up, and you can create a solid plug of impacted earwax, leading to hearing loss, dizziness, and tinnitus. Worse, you can easily scratch the delicate skin of the ear canal, opening the door for painful infections. And in a moment of carelessness, you could push too far and perforate your eardrum, causing excruciating pain and potential permanent hearing damage. The box literally says, "Do not insert swab into ear canal." It's one of the few instruction manuals we should probably all start reading. Number 3, reheating leftover rice. Leftover rice is a global staple. It's the foundation of a quick and easy meal the next day. You just pop it in the microwave and you're good to go. It seems completely harmless. But if you're not careful, that innocent-looking container of rice could be a petri dish for a particularly nasty type of food poisoning that the microwave can't fix. This isn't about the reheating itself, but about how you stored it beforehand. Uncooked rice often contains spores of a bacteria called Bacillus cereus. These spores are like tiny armored seeds of misery, and they're tough enough to survive the initial cooking process. If you leave the cooked rice sitting out at room temperature for too long, say you let it cool on the counter for a couple of hours before putting it in the fridge, you're basically sending these spores a written invitation to germinate and multiply. As they grow, they produce toxins. Here's the scary part. When you reheat the rice, the heat might kill the new bacteria, but it does absolutely nothing to the toxins they've already released. Those toxins are heat resistant. So you can nuke your rice to the temperature of the sun, and the poison will still be there, waiting to unleash chaos on your digestive system. A few hours later, you'll be regretting every life choice that led you to that bout of vomiting and diarrhea. To avoid this, cool rice down quickly and get it into the fridge within an hour. Your stomach will thank you. Number 2, drinking too much water too quickly. Stay hydrated is the golden rule of health. We carry around giant water bottles like they're emotional support animals, constantly sipping and tracking our intake. Water is life, right? More is always better, except when it's not. It turns out you can absolutely have too much of a good thing, and chugging water like it's your job can lead to a terrifying condition called water intoxication or hyponatremia. In short, you can poison yourself with pure, healthy water. Your kidneys are amazing, but they're not magic. They can only process about a liter of water per hour. When you drink way more than that in a short period, you completely overwhelm them. The excess water has nowhere to go, so it starts flooding your bloodstream. This dilutes the crucial balance of electrolytes in your body, most importantly, sodium. Sodium is what keeps the fluid levels inside and outside your body's cells in check. When the sodium in your blood gets dangerously diluted, water rushes into your cells to try and restore balance, causing them to swell up like balloons. This is bad everywhere, but it's catastrophic in your brain. Your brain is trapped in a bony, unforgiving box, the skull. As brain cells swell, the pressure inside your skull skyrockets, leading to headaches, confusion, seizures, coma, and even death. It's a bizarre and fatal paradox. In an attempt to be healthy, you've essentially drowned your own brain from the inside out. Number 1, sitting with your legs crossed. Go ahead. Check how you're sitting right now. Chances are, one leg is casually draped over the other. It's a default human posture. It feels comfortable, stable, maybe even a little bit elegant. It also feels completely harmless, but this seemingly benign habit is putting a quiet, low-grade strain on your body that can add up over time. While it might not land you in the ER tomorrow, it's a habit that your circulatory and nervous systems absolutely hate. First, your blood pressure. When you cross your legs at the knee, you put pressure on the veins and impede blood flow back to the heart. Your body has to increase its blood pressure to compensate and push the blood through that bottleneck. Studies have shown a temporary but significant spike in blood pressure readings when a person has their legs crossed. It's like putting a kink in a garden hose. The flow gets restricted. Then there's the pressure on your nerves. That comfortable position can compress the peroneal nerve, which is located behind the knee. Lean on it for too long, and you get that familiar pins and needles feeling, or a numb foot. In more extreme chronic cases, it can lead to a temporary condition called nerve palsy, causing foot drop, where you can't lift the front part of your foot. It's the number one most harmless-looking habit that subtly sabotages your body's basic plumbing and wiring. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.